I'm wondering if we don't use people's names as much anymore when we're talking to them or talking about them, or I don't know, just when we attract people's attention. It's interesting, isn't it? I've never noticed it before. I don't particularly have a need for my name to be used. It does freak me out a little bit when people use it all the time, which obviously some people do. But today I set as a little test that I wanted to hear a particular name 3 times during the day for it to mean something. And I guess the absence of hearing it means the opposite of what I wanted, obviously, to hear. And that's perfectly fine. I've got my message, got my answer to my query. But it's made me notice how little we hear names. It's not just that this might not be a popular one anymore. I don't know. It's just that I haven't heard any names necessarily being used. It's really, really funny. And maybe it's because I've put my focus on it that I'm obviously not going to hear it, because I've brought my attention maybe too much to it. And because I'm noticing the absence of it, then I'll notice the absence of it even more. But it just made me just query, do we use people's names? I don't know if I do. Don't necessarily call people by their names, or if I was with them, would I say their name? Probably not, because I don't like mine to be overused. It makes me feel a bit weird. So I probably do the same for the people. But I've heard, I would say, just on normal walkabouts, I've heard one name being said, and that was from a mother to a child. And nothing else. And I've passed people playing together, I've passed people walking together, I've passed all sorts of different ages and different relationship groups, if you like, and no name. No name's been used bar one. So there's the answer to my query, I think, even though I've got the rest of the day to have it. But just really find it really interesting just to notice that actually have we stopped using names? And if so, what do we do? Do we just look at the people that we're talking to? It's interesting, isn't it? Interesting. So I just thought I'd share that. Do we use people's names, or have we stopped? Have you noticed a difference? Probably now that I've recorded this clip, I'll continue on my evening walk and probably find that I'm hearing names all over. Maybe I just had to let go of the fact that I was hearing the absence of it. But that would be interesting to see as well, what happens after this. When you bring your focus to something, it's interesting what you do see, isn't it? You'll either notice more of it or less of it, I imagine. You've got to, haven't you? If you bring your focus to pain, then generally you bring your focus to the pain. Like you notice when the pain is there. And maybe due to that focus, you'd notice when the pain isn't there. But maybe you wouldn't naturally notice that until you stopped and thought, oh, I haven't noticed the pain. Interesting, isn't it, what we draw our attention to and how that works with our minds.